I've been listening to the 3 Cockburn tunes you sent. I used to play Water into Wine a long time ago, but as I mentioned in email, I don't know what kind of tunings he used. I went all over the map looking for what they were, etc., but he seems to be playing a little close to his chest.
If he has the option to switch to an iPad or a phone or whatever, he's not on.
He's on a laptop. That's I can see that you got an awful lot of great rhythm on it. You're also your backstrokes, which is really cool, because a lot of people, when they start out finger picking, they spread their fingers as far away as they possibly can instead of grouping a little bit. And I always try and emphasize that you got to imagine that your hand is a dead bird foot. You know, it's got to hang from the wrist really close together, like pretty much on both hands. But that's great, you got that down. Another thing that I like to try and get people to do is to fret 2 strings with 1 finger. And I don't mean bar, I mean with the fingertip. For Incandescent Blue, if you do an E minor with just your index finger, just right, it's a Lenny Bro thing. Lenny used to practice 2 strings at a time with single finger. And it's not real hard to do, it's just hard to be consistent with it. And finding that sweet point in the middle of, if you're using your index finger, which I rely on an awful lot in this kind of a method. But Incandescent Blue, it's like an E minor with 1 finger, and he's fretting the E and B string where part of a D chord would be, and just pulling it off. And then the A is the same thing. You just move that index finger a little far, 1 fret away. And the hard bit about it is trying not to do that, but that, yeah. And that'll take a while until you find that spot, because cripes, I started to do it and it sounded like crap for about a month, just because I was not coming down from the top, I was laying across. I'm going to play him for a second. Okay, I've since looked at it again, and I've figured that instead of to the A string, what we'll do is index, 2nd fret, A and D, hammer on and pull off at the 2nd fret with your middle finger on the high E. B string 3rd fret, open G, B string 3rd fret, open E. Instead of going to the open A, go up 2 frets with your index finger. And I don't know whether that makes any sense or not, but that D string 4, but it's the A string 4 for sure. Now you got your ring finger and your little finger at the 5th fret. You hit the B string first, and then the E pull off. And then you got to jump down with your index to the G string 2nd fret, open high E, hammer on 2nd fret. difficulty in doing this in standard tuning is that you're not going to be able to just go willy-nilly with this hand. You got to be careful not to strike certain strings because they're going to ring sour. To get into the rhythm of it, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll mute all of the strings very gently and listen to the drum cadence. It's almost like turning your hand into a drum kit, and for the most part your thumb is the kick. And if it's a back, like a back slap, generally it's kind of like opening your hand all at once with that bird foot thing, and you can riff or just slap it, and that's a snare.